Welcome here to WTXL.TV, our second cup this morning. I'm Greg Angel.
Kelly Bartoli.
Max DeParis also here with you.
And we got Lieutenant Mike Bellamy with Tallahassee Fire Department. Always a pleasure.
Where's my second cup at?
I know. See, that's what
I don't
Max
have one
keeps saying
either.
there.
I don't have my
The M's were hard to find.
I'll just reach over there and grab yours.
Staying on the lookout.
Gab it in there. Well, we're talking this morning about the 13th anniversary of the terrorist attacks in New York. You guys each year gather together with other first responders to really pay tribute to those lives lost. And for you guys, what's the significance of that?
Yeah, it's important. I mean, we've, you know, we feel so connected. What happened in New York City on September 11th could happen anywhere. And I think you'd find that the response would be exactly the same, that you'd have firefighters and police officers rushing in, and you'd have, you know, everyday folks that, you know, would be rushing out. And, you know, I think it's important that, you know, we tell the stories. We tell, I think all those stories inspire us. You know, the stories about Father Michael Judge, who was he was a father there in New York City that helped folks his whole life, and he was actually a chaplain for the fire department there. And he was actually the first recorded death after the attacks. He was doing basically last wishes with firefighters at the scene, and there's a picture of him being carried out by the firemen. So these things inspire us, right? I mean, they inspire us to keep doing the things we do, and you know, kind of, I think, tell the story about, you know, what our nation's all about.
This is a day, too, that as we look back and reflect on it each year, we all have such very vivid memories of where we were and how we were finding out and watching the events unfold. What was that like for you as a first responder to look at some of those images from that day? What goes through your head?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I had just come on the job. I think I was about 2 years on. I had just gotten engaged. We were in a special operations class out of their training division. We had an instructor from South Florida who actually went to the ground zero to work there that next day after the event. So, you know, seeing that unfold was tragic. I mean, we sat there, I think, that whole half the class looking at that, and then that night going on shift, just, you know, and sort of mourning that whole event.
And we're seeing here some of the scenes from 13 years ago today. It wasn't that long after these events that some members of Tallahassee Fire Department had the opportunity to go to New York and to see it in person for those members that did it. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was pretty neat. We raised about $62,000 with local community, and we had some issues with some of the charities that were popping up were not getting the money to the workers. So we took the money up to Rescue One, which is in Manhattan. It's one of the most equipped and well-trained stations in New York City Fire Department. They have a tremendous amount of pride there. They lost 11 firefighters, 18 kids without dads. And we took that check to those guys, and you know, we had actually video and some tape of that, and actually presented that to the firemen at that station. And you know, it was just incredible. They were, you know, in the video, they're just really completely in shock, you know, obviously, because this was like probably 3 or 4 weeks after the events. But.
Do you notice that when there's some younger firefighters starting out, that this was a big impact on them, that they actually maybe made the decision in school that, hey, I'm going to pursue the firefighting career now? Absolutely.
I think that's a good point. And we had a lot of firefighters that really came on board in those years to come, and I think the military as well. But another point that's interesting is we're hiring 7 new firefighters today. They're being sworn in at 2 o'clock. Wow. And I was talking to them, and they were in 1st grade. Most of the kids were in 1st grade.
Kind of puts the age into perspective, because some days it seems so long ago, but other days it still seems like
yesterday.
Just yesterday there. And the event too, we have a little piece of the World Trade Center here at home. Tell us about the beam that's on display.
Yeah, we do. We have a firefighter, Lieutenant Mike Terhune, who made it his mission to actually go up to New York City to acquire the beam,
which we're seeing here.
And that actually is about 3,000 pounds, 8-foot section. It's an outside member of the World Trade Center. We don't know which tower it came from. It's on display today at our ceremony, and that flag is called the Flag of Honor there, that actually has all the names of the nearly 3,000 folks that perished that day. And it's important. We keep it at Station 1 right now. We're looking for a permanent memorial for that. But it actually, you know, like today, we'll see a lot of folks from the community come out and pay tribute, just being there with it.
Certainly a day that we all pay tribute in some aspect, whether we just take a moment to reflect. Also, lots of events here around the area, including one at 9:30 at station number 1 in Tallahassee. We have all of them right here online at WTXL.TV, events all throughout the area. We appreciate you sharing some of your memories with us. We know it can be hard to look back, but something I think we have a shared bond as Americans to be able to look back together.
Very good. Thank you for your service as well. Lieutenant Mike Bellamy,
You're very welcome.
Tallahassee Fire Department. That's going to do things for WTXL.TV's Second Cup. Have a very good Thursday. Take care.
Thanks for joining us.